Mrs. Margaret is 68 years old. She's never told anyone this, not her husband, not her daughter, not even her doctor. After menopause, after her children left the nest, on those long, cold, lonely nights, she believed the part of her life that involved being loved, being touched, was over. Like an old dress that no longer fits. Those feelings seemed like nothing more than memories. But, in the quietest hours of night, she still asked herself, can my body still feel alive? Have you ever asked yourself the same thing? If that question has ever crossed your mind, this video is not just an explanation, it's a whisper. You are not outdated. Your body is simply waiting for you to return gently and with compassion. There are truths no one ever taught us. Because society said, at your age, be quiet, stay proper, don't dream of the body anymore. But what happens if the things we believed for so long are actually disconnecting us from ourselves? In today's video, I'll share with you 7 secrets most women over 60 have never known. Simple things that can transform the way you sleep, the way you breathe, the way you feel your own body again. And if some part of your heart is quietly stirring, please listen through to the end. If anything here touches you, leave a comment, like saying to each other, I'm still here, and I'm ready to love myself again. Now, let's begin. There are things we think we've known forever, but have never truly touched, like our own body. A woman named Eleanor, 69 years old, once sighed softly and told me, I still touch myself sometimes when I can't sleep, just to feel alive. But afterward, I feel empty, like I was just checking a box, not really being touched. It broke my heart, and I knew she wasn't alone. Many women in their 60s and 70s live this way. They spent years caring for their families, sacrificing their needs to preserve their homes. And now, in their later years, they slowly forget themselves. Even the act of self-touch. Hurried, secretive, emotionless, as if they no longer deserve tenderness. I understand, because I once felt the same. But then, one day, I tried something simple. I turned off all the lights, dropped lavender oil onto my pillow, lay still, placed my hand on my chest, and breathed. No rush, no goals, just being with myself. And then, a single tear slid down, not out of sadness, but because I realized this body is still alive, still feeling. It just hadn't been listened to for years. And that isn't magic. It's basic biology. When you touch yourself with awareness, with presence in each breath and stroke, your body releases oxytocin. This hormone not only helps you sleep deeply, but also moistens the vagina, calms your nervous system, and reconnects you with sensations long dulled by time. So, if you've believed you're dried up, expired, please try again. Not to climax, not for performance. Just to say to your body, I'm still here. I haven't forgotten you. There are moments when it's not that we did something wrong, but that we did it at the wrong time. Touching ourselves, or more simply, loving ourselves, is one of those things. Many older women have shared with me, I still try to be close to my body at night, when everything is quiet. But afterward I just feel tired, heavy, and somehow even more disconnected. I listened quietly, then gently asked, when do you usually do this? They often replied, at night, late, when I'm already sleepy. And that is exactly the problem. A woman's body after 60 is no longer like it was at 20. It doesn't simply switch on when cold. It's like a garden. It needs sunlight, warmth, water, and the right moment to bloom. When we're tired, when we're drained from a long day, everything dims. Our breath, our feelings, our attention. And even if we touch ourselves in that state, it's just skin meeting skin, not soul meeting body. I once advised a 72-year-old woman named Grace, don't wait until nightfall. Try in the morning when you've just awakened, when the light is still soft, and your mind is unburdened. She laughed, thought I was joking. But a few days later, she called me back. Her voice had changed. Lighter, brighter. She said, I didn't expect something so small to make such a difference. My body opened. It wasn't tense or weary anymore. Yes, exactly that. Science confirms it. After menopause, estrogen drops, while cortisol or stress hormone rises in the evening. But in the morning, or between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., your body finds its natural balance. Blood flows more easily. Sensations become sharper. It's the moment when you're most open to tenderness, most able to feel loved. And more importantly, it's when your body is touched, not out of obligation, but out of listening, not to create pleasure, but to invite aliveness back in. So if you've ever felt disappointed, like there's nothing left to feel, try changing the time. Choose when you're clearest, most rested, most present. Let the body lead, not old habits. I still believe every woman has her own golden hour, a moment when the body whispers, now is the time. I'm ready. Have you found your moment yet? If not, try tomorrow morning. And if something shifts, write me a line, because your one sentence might be the guiding light for another woman still trying to find her way back to herself. There's a strange truth that no one really talks about. Sometimes, the problem isn't inside you. It's the space around you that's making you shut down. A 76-year-old woman once told me, I live alone in a small apartment outside New Jersey. Whenever I want to touch myself, I go to the bathroom. Cold lights, white walls, hard tile. Not because I like it there, but because it's the only place I feel private enough, safe from being heard. Then she said something that broke me. When I'm done, I just sigh. Not from shame, but because I feel nothing. I was silent. You see, a flower cannot bloom in a cold wind. A soul cannot open under a sterile fluorescent light. And a body, especially one that has endured, sacrificed, waited, can only unfold when it feels welcomed, protected, invited. Soft lighting, gentle scent, a clean sheet, a cozy corner. They are not just decorations. They are signals, whispers to your body that say, you are safe now. You are allowed to feel. I once encouraged that same woman to change things up just a little. New clean sheets, a warm bedside lamp, a body pillow to hug, a single vanilla-scented candle. She chuckled. I'm too old for romance. But one Saturday evening, she gave it a try. Not to pleasure herself, just to lie down and breathe. And in that quiet moment, when her hand brushed across her lower belly, she burst into tears. Not from grief, but because, for the first time in years, she felt worthy of being loved. Science backs it all up. Soft lighting boosts melatonin, your body's natural relaxation hormone. A room temperature between 23-26 degrees agrasix.org helps the pelvic area stay open, not clenched, and scents like vanilla or lavender reduce stress and raise oxytocin, the very same hormone a woman feels when holding her child for the first time. That space you create, It's not about having sex. It's about coming back to life. You don't need a movie-like bedroom. You don't need roses or fancy candles. Just a small corner where you feel warm, soft, safe. That place becomes your sanctuary. Not for anyone else, but just for you to return home to yourself. So, if you've ever felt numb, take a look around. Maybe you're not numb. Maybe you've just been trying to bloom in a cold, unwelcome space. Have you created a little sanctuary of your own yet? If not, start one. And if you have, share it in the comments. Because your words might help another woman open her first door back to the love she deserves. Sometimes, the feeling doesn't disappear because we've grown old or numb. It fades because we keep touching ourselves the same way we did decades ago, as if our bodies haven't changed. But tell me, who hasn't changed with time? Our bodies are no different. They no longer respond with the fiery quickness of our 20s. They now crave a new rhythm, slower, softer, deeper. Above all, they long to be rediscovered, as if for the first time. I'll never forget the story of Judith. She's 68, living in Arizona. Her husband passed away years ago, and since then, she maintained a weekly habit of release, not from desire, but from fear. Fear that her body would shut down completely. Each time, it was the same. A few familiar strokes, a few breaths, then done. She told me, "It's like washing my face. No emotion, no spark." One day, I said to her, "Try doing it differently. Don't touch the usual places. Don't use your dominant hand. Don't follow the same old rhythm. Pretend this is your first time meeting your body, a stranger you want to understand deeply." Judith listened, and she tried. She used her palm instead of fingers. She slid the inner side of her wrist across her chest, her belly, her inner thighs. No pressure, no goal, just listening. A few days later, she called me. Her voice trembled. I felt a warmth run down my spine. Not the loud kind of climax I knew in youth, but something deep, quiet, as if my body just woke up from a long sleep. Science explains this beautifully. When we change the way we touch, change pace, change places, our brain creates new emotional pathways. Areas long ignored, the lower belly, hips, back, inner thighs, reconnect with our pleasure centers. Using your non-dominant hand activates the opposite brain hemisphere, stirring up feelings that may have been dormant. Those places you thought were nothing special, they are bridges, leading you to a new kind of pleasure, slower, steadier, and more enduring than any youthful wave. So if you've ever thought, "I can't feel anything anymore," I invite you to try again. But this time, touch as if you've never met your body before. Touch with a child's curiosity and an adult's reverence. No rush, no repeats, just listening. Are you ready? If yes, just write one line. I'm ready to touch myself in a new way. Because that one small sentence might be the light another woman is waiting for. In her journey back to herself, there's something most women don't know after menopause. Your sensations don't disappear. They simply move. And if you keep searching for them in the same old places, as if your body hasn't changed, you're likely to feel frustrated, even broken. Many women tell me, back then, just a touch would send sparks flying. But now, nothing. But the truth isn't that nothing's left. It's that the map has changed. And we've never been taught how to read this new map. I remember speaking to a woman named Margaret, 70 years old, living in the Midwest. After her husband passed away, she tried several times to love herself again. But each time, she ended up feeling empty. She told me, maybe I'm just too old now. But one day, she read something about exploring new erogenous zones after menopause. This time, she didn't rush to the usual spots. She placed her hand on her lower belly, gently moved in slow circles, glided the back of her hand along her inner thighs, her spine, her nape. There was nothing overtly sexy about it, but she said, it was like my whole body lit up, like I'd just opened a hidden door in a house. I thought I'd already explored completely. And this isn't fantasy. This is science. After menopause, lower estrogen levels mean the vagina may become less elastic, to less sensitive. But other parts of the body, the nape of the neck, behind the ears, inside the elbows, lower belly, back, behind the knees, become more sensitive. These spots we used to overlook can now become lifelines. When we're no longer driven by urgent desire, our bodies make room for deeper, more expansive sensations, a mature, quiet kind of pleasure. And here's the miracle. The body remembers. Once you discover a new pleasure point, it doesn't forget. It becomes your haven, your healing ground, your secret place to feel alive again. So if you've been walking the same old path and feeling nothing, pause. Try a different route. Lay your hand on the places you've long ignored. Gently breathe. Close your eyes. Let your feelings lead. Don't chase peaks. Seek currents. Don't recreate old sensations. Discover a whole new universe inside you. And if there's a spot on your body that once surprised you, a place more sensitive than you expected, share it with me. Or simply write, I'm learning to love my body through the places I've never touched. You never know. Your sentence might be the first spark that helps another woman unlock herself. There's a truth almost no one tells women after 60. Sensation in the intimate parts doesn't vanish because you've lost desire, but because your lifeblood, the very stream of vitality, has quietly pulled away. Many women think, maybe I just don't want it anymore. But in reality, it's not that desire has dried up. It's that your body is no longer receiving the blood flow it needs. In the right place, at the right time. A 74-year-old woman named Lorraine once told me, with a gentle sadness in her voice, I thought I was too late to feel anything again. Until one day, after massaging my lower belly and breathing properly, I felt this warm river flowing up my spine. It was like someone unlocked a door that had been bolted shut for years. Her story moved me deeply, and I know she is not alone. After menopause, lower estrogen causes blood vessels to constrict, reducing blood flow to the pelvic area. As a result, that part of the body grows cold, dry, less responsive. But here's the beautiful part. You can bring that flow back. No pills, no partner, no fancy tricks. Just your hands, your breath, and a quiet commitment to listen to your own body. Start with water, the source of all life. Drink a warm glass of water with a pinch of sea salt, about an hour before you want to reconnect with yourself. The minerals help balance electrolytes and open up blood flow, even to those forgotten places. Then comes food, not for fullness, but for feeling. A piece of dark chocolate, a few slices of watermelon, rich in citrulline, a handful of walnuts. They seem ordinary, but they're silent bridges, bringing your body back online. And then, your hands. Not to start something, but to awaken. Massage your lower belly. inner thighs, hips, in slow, circular motions. Not as a routine, but as a ritual, as a whispered promise. I'm still here, and I still want to live fully. Finally, your breath. The most forgotten miracle of all. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6 seconds. Repeat for a few minutes. And you'll notice your body begins to warm. Your heartbeat softens. Your pelvic space tingles, as if a long-lost signal is coming back online. If you've ever taken a deep breath, rubbed your belly, or placed your hand over your heart and felt a soft warmth spreading outward, then you've already begun. And if you haven't, then to daydream just one step, one soft move, and see if your body answers back. If even a small part of you feels stirred by this, just write one sentence. I'm learning to awaken the flow inside me. It may feel small like a breeze, but your words might be the first spring rain that makes another woman smile. After years of drought, I used to think that when my hair turned silver and my skin began to wrinkle, all the tremors of youth would close like a worn-out book. But I was wrong. Completely wrong. Aging is not the final chapter. It is a new one, where everything is deeper, quieter, and truer. Margaret, 69 years old, once whispered to me after a long talk. I truly believed my most passionate years were gone forever, until I stopped trying to stimulate myself, and instead, began to touch myself, with breath, with softness, with gratitude. She cried, not from regret, but from joy. Joy at realizing the feelings had never died. They were simply waiting to be called by their true name. Can you relate to that? Your body may no longer react like it did in your 20s, but it is far from broken. It simply wants to be heard. With your heart, not your head. With presence, not performance. When we let go of old expectations, what pleasure should look like. How fast, how strong, how young. What we touch is no longer lust. It becomes something far more sacred. A delicate harmony between body, soul, and memory. I once tried an evening like that. No bright lights, no devices, no rush. Just me, a drop of oil, a clean towel, and the rhythm of my breath. I expected nothing, and yet my body began to open. Not with a loud bang like in youth, but like gentle waves, stroking a quiet shoreline. Soft, real, enough. You know what? Science agrees. Many women over 60, when freed from pressure and reconnected to emotion, to begin to experience full-body orgasms for the first time in their lives. Not because they've reversed aging, but because they've finally understood themselves. No longer rushing, no longer proving, just being true. And once you've entered that kind of connection, you begin to see every breath, every embrace, every touch is no longer about pleasure. It becomes proof that you are still here, still alive, still worthy of love, even if that love comes only from yourself. If you've ever had a moment like that, a flash of warmth, a flicker in your chest, a spark that said, I'm not done yet, then write one line. I'm loving myself in the rhythm of maturity. Just that. That small sentence might feel like a gentle hand reaching out in the dark, illuminating the path for another woman who's still searching for her way back. Because in the end, no one is ever too late to begin again. There's a woman inside your aging body, new, wild, waiting, ready to be born. You've made it to the end of this video. And if you're still listening, I believe one thing with all my heart. Something inside you is beginning to stir. It's not loud, not dramatic, but it's there. A quiet wave, a gentle flutter in your chest, a flicker of light glowing softly inside you, whispering, I'm still here. I never left. Maybe you've thought, this kind of thing isn't for women my age anymore. Maybe someone told you, you're too old for feelings like that. But I want you to know, you have never lost your worth. You're not too late. You're not past your time. And you're certainly not numb. You've just never been taught how to love yourself again. After giving so much of yourself away, your body, this beautiful, resilient body, once gave life, raised a family, carried pain, held silence. And now, it doesn't need saving. It just needs you to return to it, to touch it with a softer, wiser hand. A hand that says, I see you. I hear you. I remember you. These 7 things I shared today aren't just tips for pleasure. They are doorways, pathways back to your own truth, journeys that no one else can take for you. But hear this. You are not alone. Beneath this video, there are hundreds, thousands of women writing quietly, me too. They've doubted themselves. They've cried at night. But now, they are bravely beginning again. With the smallest things. A breath, a fresh bedsheet, a morning sunbeam, a touch that feels like an apology to their own body. If any part of this video touched your heart, please leave a comment. Just one sentence. Something like, I'm returning to my body. That line isn't just for you. It might be the very first light for another woman, still lost in the dark. And maybe, because of your words, she'll pause, take a deep breath, and finally think, maybe I can begin again. And if you want to go even deeper, if you're ready to continue this gentle return to yourself, hit subscribe. In the next video, I'll guide you through how to massage your lower belly to awaken circulation and emotion. No medicine, no partner, just you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being brave enough to stay until the end. And if you can, share this video with a woman you love, because you might be the bridge to a whole new beginning in her life. We, the women, after 60, we no longer live to please others. We live to love ourselves again in the most beautiful, gentle, and authentic way. That is the true youth of a mature woman. See you in the next video. And remember,